Good day to all. Welcome to Extreme Recap. I anticipated you're clicking on this one. Man, you guys are so predetermined. Due to her line of work, Elizabeth is a middle-aged woman who works as a teacher at a junior high school. One might think that she is very responsible and caring, but the exact opposite is true. Elizabeth is actually a careless and impolite woman who makes the students watch movies in class and curses at them. She is either high on alcohol or drugs the majority of the time. Elizabeth has only one goal in life: to marry a wealthy man and steal his wealth. So, she is a gold digger. Elizabeth is currently dating the son of a very successful businessman. Additionally, things are going well for her. Because she no longer requires employment, she abruptly quits her school job one day in arrogance. But when she gets home, she finds that her boyfriend and his mother are waiting for her. In a shocking turn of events, the guy says that he no longer wants to marry her. He has finally come to the realization that Elizabeth is only interested in his money. All of these he has had money taken from his wallet by her, to purchase expensive items for himself from his office and even his mother's room. Elizabeth attempts to make sense of that this isn't true, however he doesn't tune in and irately leaves. Elizabeth is put in a difficult situation as a result. Not only has she lost hope of becoming wealthy, but she also has no job. Presently, Elizabeth takes a stab at searching for occupations for a couple of months, but since she doesn't have a lot of ability, known Irish. Or on the other hand, finally, she bites the bullet and rejoins her old manager, the middle school. On her most memorable day, she catches her old adversary, Amy Squirrel, and the two traded a few offending words with one another. It is obvious that the two of them disdain each other enthusiastically. After this, Elizabeth heads to a class where the understudies are more than happy to see her back. She doesn't seem to care, though. She starts eating her breakfast there and does not even instruct them. She turns on the television and orders the students to watch, stand, and deliver when they start asking for a new lesson. She covered her face with her jacket and fell asleep in the class during the lunch break after the mystery retold the story, promising to help them get better grades. Elizabeth makes amends with her one and only schoolmate. They talk about their lives with Lynn, another teacher. Additionally, Elizabeth reveals that she intends to have breast augmentation surgery in order to enhance her beauty and attract wealthy men, also known as sociopaths. In the meantime, Russell, the school's gym teacher, is introduced to us. He has had a huge crush on Elizabeth from the beginning, but she never entertains him. This is because he does not possess the one and only quality that she looks for in rich men. Scott, a handsome man, joins the school as a substitute teacher one day. Furthermore, when Elizabeth discovers that he is well off, she quickly begins orbiting him at a lucky second. She introduces herself when she comes across him. She then cleverly forces him to reveal that he is single and is in a relationship. Scott discloses that he recently ended his relationship with his girlfriend and even includes a picture of her. Elizabeth is envious of the girl when she sees it. Enormous chest. She also believes that Scott only likes women of that type. So she makes it her plan to undergo bosom improvement medical procedure. In the following scene, Elizabeth heads to a facility and plans to finish up the structure for the medical procedure. In any case, when she discovers that the system will cost her an incredible $9,000, she quickly stops. Elizabeth will have to wait for the time being because she does not even have $50 in her account. That evening, she calls every one of her companions and associates, trusting that she can get some gift for the medical procedure. They simply hang up on her, however, because they are all aware of her true nature. After that, Elizabeth goes back to her former boyfriend and demands that he give her $9,000 as recompense for ending their marriage. In any case, even he rejects and disengages the call a lot to her disappointment. The following morning in class, as Elizabeth is taking a break, she is approached by one of the students as usual and asked if she would like her car washed. She further makes sense of that the whole class will be partaking in the yearly vehicle wash occasions, which will be loads of tomfoolery. Elizabeth doesn't even pay attention to her. In any case, when the understudy uncovers that they procured $6,000 last year, she becomes frightened. Okay, children, wash my car, and buy me some pits. Elizabeth then, at that point, asks which instructor's driving them to the occasion. She discovers, to her dismay, that it is Amy, her adversary. Elizabeth heads to the principal's office and begins seducing him with her looks despite the setback because she is unwilling to pass up such a golden opportunity. She asks him to put her in charge of the car wash event instead of Amy once he gets excited. He agrees without hesitation, much to her delight. Elizabeth wears the most revealing dress she can find the following morning to the event. She then starts washing the vehicle too, likewise sprinkling a ton of water on her body. All of the women around are shocked by this, but the men are pleased with what they see. Indeed, even a police officer gets dazzled by her excellence such a lot of that he crashes his vehicle into another. Elizabeth then makes a demand for additional funds from the men, claiming that the students at her school urgently require additional funds. Shockingly, the arrangement fills in as before the day's over. She can turn things around. $10,000. Elizabeth secretly keeps the other half for herself while giving half to the school. In the meantime, Amy learns about this and goes to the principal in rage. The latter is going to the bathroom to relieve himself, so the sudden invasion of his privacy has him expecting to be furious. Amy claims that Elizabeth is taking from the school assets and requests that she be rebuffed. But the principal says he can't do anything until solid evidence is found against her. The annual parent-teacher meeting is the next day at school. True to form, many guardians have arranged in Elizabeth's group, as every one of them are furious with how their kids are being educated. They confront Elizabeth and demand an explanation for why she always plays movies in the classroom and never teaches lessons. Also, why are you so damn sexy, what gives? In response, Roger. She says simply, don't teach me how to do my work. When the meeting is over, some time later, Elizabeth is approached by a worried father, who secretly hands her $200 and asks her to pay more attention to his son. Our cunning protagonist benefits from this. Another idea is that she goes one-on-one with each parent and asks for money while promising to give each child individual attention. Presently, Elizabeth is just $2,000 shy of her bosom improvement medical procedure. Go ahead. She continued to be irresponsible throughout the day and completely neglected her students. Elizabeth additionally dismisses the rec center teacher Russell's advances. She does, however, become friends with him. On the other hand, Amy has also begun to pursue Scott, who is wealthy and attractive. Elizabeth is extremely envious of the two because they have grown close and are always together. She learns one day from Lynn, her best friend, that the school will hold a competition for teachers. A $5 cash prize will be awarded to the teacher whose students achieve the highest possible scores on the upcoming state exam. Seems as though a few new tenths to me. Hearing this, Elizabeth becomes euphoric and she chooses to begin showing her understudies at last. Therefore, beginning the following day, she arrives early to class and shocks everyone by forcing them to open their books. Additionally, Elizabeth ensures that they receive daily homework and assignments. Even in class, she won't let them talk to each other. After a few days of this, the students greatly improve. However, passing the upcoming state exam, which is just a few days away, is still not enough. Elizabeth decides to take matters into her own hands because she is desperate to win the $5,000 cash prize. She approaches Carl, a state professor who is in charge of preparing and distributing test questions, that evening, dressed in a seductive manner. The method works. When the man goes to his bedroom to get ready, Elizabeth adds sleeping pills to his drink, and he immediately wakes up and takes her to his place. Elizabeth takes advantage of the opportunity to steal the questions from Carl and distribute them to her students, which Carl later consumes and knocks out. The week after that, when the test results come in, she wins because all of her students pass with excellent grades. Elizabeth receives the cash prize of $5,000. Furthermore, with this, she at long last has sufficient cash to go through the medical procedure. When the new boobies doer is behind bars, we'll see how well she does. She therefore immediately makes her way to the clinic and schedules an appointment. However, the following day, she learns with disappointment that Scott has started dating Amy. They seem very in love with one another. Although Elizabeth is enraged that her foe is once more thwarting her plans, she will not give up. The week after that, Scott and Amy will be in charge of the tour that the school is giving to all of the students. Elizabeth devises a clever strategy when she learns of this. Knowing Amy is a huge fan of the apple, she gives it a chemical injection and leaves it on her desk. Amy takes a bite out of the apple without even asking where it came from, as expected. Fearing that she might spread the illness to the students, she covered her face in rashes and allergies by the evening. In the following scene, Elizabeth threw a placer during the tour. The principal appoints. Elizabeth makes the most of the opportunity, and that night, she becomes close to Scott. They even have private sexual relations. Amy begins looking for clues to expel Elizabeth from the school in another location out of envy. She tries scanning her desk when she goes to class. However, most of the drawers are secured. As a result, Amy moves Elizabeth to her desk and gets a janitor to open the drawer. To her pleasure, she finds the inquiry papers that Elizabeth had taken from Carl. Amy then goes to the principal's room to explain everything about Elizabeth's cheating on the helper. Understudies get very good. This time, the principal believes her, but he also states that he will not be able to fire Elizabeth unless Carl tells the truth. As a result, on the same day, Amy goes up to Carl in his office and bribes him into saying everything. If he does not comply, she warns him. She will make public all of his wrongdoings. The poor man reluctantly agrees. Elizabeth is having a great time with the students elsewhere on the tour. She even aids one of the tormented young men become famous by providing him with her. Wow, she's going to prison. Russell is greatly impressed when he sees this. Elizabeth compliments him on his honesty and good fortune in response to his praise for her generosity. However, their heartfelt discussion is impolitely intruded. At the point when Amy shows up at the scene and insults Elizabeth that she will be captured soon, hearing this. The fact that the stolen test papers have been found is what our protagonist realizes. So she thinks of her very own arrangement when she heads home. She pays her flatmate and orders him to convey a bundle to Duke. At the point when the last option gets the bundle and opens it, he finds a few naked pictures of him, which Elizabeth had obviously taken when he was taken out. She is headed to jail right now. She demands a false confession from him in return. She will stay discreet. Carl is put in a very difficult situation as a result of this because the two women are threatening him with their demands. However, after much thought, he chooses Elizabeth and lies that he has never even met her. After that, Elizabeth herself comes forward and asserts that narcotics had been used in class by someone at the school. Here, it is made clear that she already found it. That Amy had switched desks while she was away, with test papers in the lower drawer and drugs in the upper drawer. Amy doesn't know what's inside this drawer because Elizabeth says that several cops stormed the school and started looking through all the desks. The drawer is still closed. The drugs are discovered when it is Amy's turn, and she is taken into custody right away. The conflict between the two women comes to an end as a result of this. In the last scenes, Scott approaches Elizabeth and asks her out on the town, communicating that he enjoys her. In any case, shockingly, she turns him down. According to Elizabeth, she already has a man who is smart, kind, and attractive. She then, at that point, goes to Russell and kisses him energetically, subsequently beginning their relationship. Elizabeth additionally drops her bosom, broadening a medical procedure as she is not generally keen on drawing in rich folks. At the end of the movie, Elizabeth says she will be a serious teacher and help all of her students get good grades from now on. However, she remains a bad person. Additionally, I maintain that she should be imprisoned and turn on notifications. Please subscribe for more videos like this, and like the channel to support it. Thank you very much for watching.